Wow, how was that? Good? Yeah? All fired up with some big ideas? Yeah? There were some amazing things that you guys talked about. I got to sit in each one of those sessions. So you get access to that kind of information and more from now on to come up with your big idea. And if you have difficulty coming up with a big idea, at the end of this section, which is all about how you enter, I've got some cheat codes in here. So if you want some inspiration, there's a whole envelope full of some great ideas in here that you can just pick at random. One's electronic tagging for people's strayable belongings, like your glasses. Yeah, so there's all sorts of ideas like that in here. So, who wants to enter after all of that? That's great news. So in terms of how you enter, this section is all about how you do that and what you get access to in terms of information and support along the way, all right? So, what you need to do is to create a team of 2 or 3 people. Now, if you've got mates, after hearing what you've heard today, if you've got mates that you reckon would want to come in on your idea, you can invite them. They don't have to have necessarily come today in order to participate. So rally up support from your mates and bring them along. If you reckon you've got 2 or 3 friends that can draw together an idea and be able to create that idea into either a video or 500 words, then get them together. Now, your topic for your idea. You've got to stick to the topic, okay? It's up there on the screen. And it's a big idea to positively change your world. Doesn't sound so hard, does it? You've just got to figure out what that big idea is, okay? And as I said before, what we want you to do is to tell us about that big idea in either a 3-minute video or in 500 words, which is pretty easy because there's loads of help available, not just from the people that you've seen today, but lots of other people through a series of workshops, and I'll share with you in a minute all the dates of those workshops. And an important date that you need to remember is that entries close on the 7th of June, okay? So between now and then, what you need to keep in mind is that there's a website, so upstartchallenge.com.au has all the information that you're going to need in order to enter. And on that website, you'll be able to just hit the enter button and answer 7 key questions. That's all the entry is about. So whether you make a 3-minute video or whether you write it down in 500 words, make sure you answer these 7 questions, all right? They're pretty straightforward because you've heard all about how to answer these questions today in the 3 sessions that you've had, okay? So you shouldn't find it too much trouble to work out what your answers are to each of those questions. Once you've done that in your video or your 500 words, then you'll enter that online and you'll have that particular entry looked at by a judging panel. But before that, have I got the judging panel next to those dates first? So, we did have an illustrious group of judges, but none of them were available. I'm just kidding. These are amazing people and they were available and they've been involved in Upstart over a period of time and they're brilliant business minds, okay? So they're going to have a look at your entries and evaluate them based on an order of which ones are more likely to be the bee's knees or not, okay? So these are the people that you need to impress. They're the ones that you've got to be able to pitch your idea to. If you get through that first round, you'll be able to pitch your idea in a later stage. The first round is the Big Ideas competition. This is where you'll enter online and your entry will be considered by those 3 people that were just up on the slide. Now, as you can see from this particular slide, there's loads of dates to remember. We don't expect you to remember all of those. Essentially, these are a bunch of workshops and sessions that you can come along to down at the NAB Business Centre. Possibly here. But you don't need to remember any of those bits except that there's help available, and if you want that help, go to the upstartchallenge.com.au website and you'll find out where that help is, what dates and times that it's on generally, okay? But know that there's going to be a shed load of it. So once you've done an entry online, there'll be a bunch of winners that will be chosen from that particular stage, and they'll all get the cash prizes of about $300 each. There's about 12 of those cash prizes to win. If you're particularly good and your idea is looking pretty sensational, you'll get on a short list of 5 projects which will get to enter the top end pitching competition, all right? Now the pitching competition, again, this one anybody can go through, even if you weren't a top 5 chosen project. You can go through these workshops to bring your idea to a higher level if you want to. But in particular, if you've managed to be one of those top 5 projects, then attending these workshops and mentoring sessions will be really important for you again, because you'll be asked to pitch your particular idea in front of a pretty big audience, okay? And that audience will be at a dinner on the 13th of August, okay? So 5 entrants will have to participate in that pitching competition on the 13th of August, all right? But in the meantime, everybody can still have access to all of the information and support up until that point. So, I think that's about it, except to say the big winners of the pitching competition get that $1,000 cash prize, and I think there's technology prizes too, yeah. I'm not sure what those technologies are, but I'm sure there's plenty of information on the website about that, all right? So, you've had lots of information to wade through today. The big messages are, if you reckon you've got a big idea, or you want a cheat code for an idea, and you reckon you've got some mates who will join together with you to be able to explain that big idea in a video or in 500 words, then get on the website, okay? And we really look forward to seeing all those big ideas, okay? The last thing I need to do is invite any questions that you might have. Yeah, go ahead. Jenny, come here. Jenny can help with questions.
Will the top 5 at the end to get shortlisted, is that based on groups or ideas? So if a group has multiple ideas, will their ideas go, or?
Per idea.
Just
That's
per idea, all right.
Yep.
So is there a possibility that multiple ideas from each group are in? So
Possibly. Yeah. Yeah.
If they're all sensational, that'll make the panels, the judging panel's job really hard. Yeah, good question.
Can you do a video at 500 words, or is it just one or the other?
You could, I don't see a problem with doing both, but one would be, yeah.
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 Do one or the other. Make it easy. As many items you can put in, you can submit as many different items as you want.
So when you sign up to do it and answer the 7 questions, is that when you submit your 500 words or?
That's right.
Yeah.
So you'll see the form on the website, talks you through those questions.
There'll be a box for each one of those questions to fill in, or you'll get an attach button to attach a video, if that's the way you're answering your 7 questions.
And then before that, is that with your partner John?
Yeah, in your group of 2 or 3? Yeah, sure. Yeah. There was another one over here, yeah.
Do you need 2, like, do you need the 2 or 3 people, or can you do it by yourself?
Single entrance?
All the team, 2 or 3 people.
Yeah. All right. There's one down here, but then we'll come to
Yes, certainly.
same group, plenty of ideas. If you reckon you've got them, keep them coming. Yeah?
Different group. You can be a different group.
Good point. There was a question here, and
So
then
if
one
we were a
this.
team,
Yep.
could we both have similar ideas, but we have to
Join
Enter them
together.
as a group
Yeah.
of 2.
You might have an idea. You might have an idea. Enter 2 ideas
we have
as a
to
team.
make one separate, like, videos or
Separate templates. Yeah.
So if you had 2 brilliant ideas, you'd have 2 separate entries, and you'd put a video or your 500 words to each. Yeah? Got it?
Are the finalists judged just from the people that are here, or are there other groups of people doing it as well?
Yeah, because it's an online competition too, so it is open to all schools in the region. Same rules. You guys are ahead of the game because you've already been here today and heard from some really amazing people. Start your imagination and give you a bit of guidance and a head start on the way.
How many people that there?
Oh, you want to know who the competition are? Good question. You might be able to find out later on. I think Jenny's card is out there, so you could keep tied into the loop and start to find out, I'm sure, how many entries might be coming in if you want to. I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem.
Online?
Yeah, there is a bit of that. So, and Facebook page, Jenny Cromarty over here. Some of you might know her, I've been in touch with her on the email. So she's putting all that information out to keep it updated.
There's another question in the middle.
on the night of the final $1,000 prize, who will be at the dinner there, like, and watch, and how many participants will turn out?
Okay, so last year we had 140 people in the room. So that was people from schools, that was the mentors that you've met today and that you'll meet through the programme, and that was business people in the Geelong region, people who are keen to see young minds put to work and ideas come to life.
Are you allowed to have your own laptop? That's not specific to Upstart?
Of course, of course. Pull into the expertise you think you need.
There's a question over here.
Once you enter with your idea, do you have to stick with that idea, or say if you had changed your mind halfway through and change your idea, are you allowed to do that?
Yeah, and with ideas can evolve. I think that some of the mentors you heard from today, you can start with an idea and you can make it bigger and better and weave things into it as you go. But your initial idea will be judged on what the judge can see when you first make that entry. So you want to do a bit of testing along the way so that when your submission goes in, you're happy with it at that time. But if you get through to the next stage of the competition and you're working it up to a pitch, you might change your path and change your direction based on what you're learning.
Any other questions? All done? Nice one. There's one other thing to do by round of applause. There's a slide after this which I'm sure will come up soon. Thank you. My clicker's lost its batteries. Just to thank all of the good folks who have made Upstart happen. All right, there's a lot of people behind getting you all of the information and support that you need, and so I'd like you, by round of applause, to thank all of those folks and all of the mentors today. And also thank you guys. You guys have been amazing to have here today and listen to questions. I sat in, as I say, on each of the sessions, and it sounds like you guys are going to come up with some awesome ideas. So we'll look forward to receiving those. And if you want one of the cheat codes on your way out, I'll just stand by the door and you can grab one at random. All right? Thanks everyone for coming.
First of all, last of all, we just want to say thank you to the wonderful people who have given their time tonight to help us and to help you learn. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much, Bettina, for stepping in and doing a great job.